This episode was a request by nobody. I'm choosing my own today. And hoo boy, we've got ourselves a stinker. Buckle up, ladies and ladies. This will be the comeback of a lifetime. We meet again, Season 12, a season everyone wishes never existed, and for very good reason. This season lacks practically everything. I'd rather not go into detail about how horrendous this season is, so I'm just going to cut to the chase. You're probably wondering why I chose this episode in particular. Well, not too long ago, some friends and I were watching some episodes of this interesting season, and considering we were doing it in chronological order, this was the very first episode, and my god. I have a lot to say about this one. It is ungodly stupid, ugly, and everything in between. So, let's not wait any longer. This is Thomas and the Billboard. So, the plot of this episode is that it's Knapford Station's birthday. Yeah, you heard that right. And the main cast, including Diesel for some reason, are taking a group picture for a billboard. At Tidmouth Sheds? If the episode is celebrating Knapford's birthday, wouldn't it make more sense for them to take the picture at Knapford? There's more than enough lines at the station and the yards for a group picture. Literally a wasted opportunity, and we are not even 25 seconds in. So anyway, the photographer takes a photo of them despite the fact that he asked Diesel to move forward a bit, blocking Thomas from being seen. Thomas, after seeing the final picture, is quite disappointed. He's thinking he moved right in front of him on purpose, even though the photographer literally told Diesel to do so.
And Diesel, can you move in? Diesel moved in.
Yeah, it's one of those cliche misunderstanding stories. After an accident with Thomas losing the billboard, the photographer offers to take another picture later today, but Thomas tries to do everything he can to keep Diesel away from the sheds. This frustrates some of the other engines because they're supposed to be doing their jobs. After more shenanigans of Thomas gathering the engines and trying to stay away from Diesel, he thinks that everything is peachy keen. That is, until Diesel shows up and Thomas gets found out by everyone else. Thomas says sorry, Diesel gets in the picture with everyone else, and the party is a grand success, yada yada yada. Now, I just gave you guys the bare minimum. The story is a lot more convoluted than that. But what makes this episode worse than most of the other episodes from this season is that there are so many plot holes to be found everywhere. First, we get this completely nonsensical line.
Thomas didn't know that Diesel had rolled right in front of him. And neither did Diesel.
Also, it was so obvious why they decided to throw Diesel into the episode. They wanted to expand on the whole Steam versus Diesel conflict despite it being resolved in the same era of the show. A friend of mine who goes by the username ThomasMarioFan11 thinks that James would have fit this role much more appropriately. And I could actually see that. Instead of the photographer telling him to move forward, James does it on his own because he is so desperate to be in the spotlight and doesn't think about others. So he accidentally covers up Thomas's spot in the picture. It probably wouldn't be perfect, but it would be a lot better since Thomas has an actual reason to get mad at James instead of not paying attention to what's being said right in front of him. Another thing wrong with this convoluted mess of an episode. Why the hell did the photographer decide to put up his first picture on the billboard without noticing that Thomas wasn't in it? You'd think being a professional photographer, he would know this kind of stuff. But nah, gotta make everything act as stupid as possible just to tell a story. As for some more nitpicky things, well, the model and CGI faces are also very inconsistent throughout every Season 12 episode, and there are a few times where the engines would switch places for no discernible reason, or even have faces that don't belong to them. Ugh. It's also thanks to this episode that the 3 strikes formula became prominent in every single fucking episode. I don't think I need to explain why this formula is so repetitive, but if you really want to know, just watch this episode for yourself. It's awful. Absolutely awful. Do I think this is the worst Season 12 episode? Second worst. I'm pretty sure you guys have a good idea what the first could be. Makes me cringe just thinking about it. Was there anything I liked in this episode? Well, even though this is only one aspect, I did find these 2 scenes pretty funny.
There's been a mistake. You'll all have to come back later. The engines were very cross.
No one told me there was another photograph.
But I asked Thomas to tell everyone. All the engines looked at Thomas.
Overall, this episode is hot garbage, and truly one of the worst episodes of the model series. I didn't realize how awful of an episode this is until rewatching it last week, and I'm glad I was able to tear it to shreds like I did. Easily the worst episode I've reviewed thus far. 1 out of 10. Finally, I can catch a break. I hope you guys enjoyed this new and improved installment of Fairly Frantic Reviews. The reason why I stopped doing this series for a while is because I lost a lot of motivation to continue after a couple of episodes. But it was thanks to a friend of mine that helped me get back on my feet. And who was he? He goes by the name The Pannier Jester, also known as Darren. He wanted me to keep going more than anyone else, and that was enough to convince me to do just that. Thank you so much, Darren. You don't know how much this means to me. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video as well. As of right now, requests are still closed, but I'll be sure to open them whenever I feel like it. Anyways, that'll be it from me. I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace out, everybody!